again, it's Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Steve Post here in the Hercules Tire Studios in Concord, North Carolina, and Ashley Stremme in the Lethal Chassis Studios in Pennsylvania. How are you, Ashley?
I am fabulous. I spent a week at Eldora, which never disappoints. Unfortunately, it was with late models, but the World 100 was spectacular.
We are in a time in short track racing. This is not just sprint car racing, but short track racing, where the big events are really, really big events. Your home track, Port Royal, had the Tuscarora 50, and we'll talk some about that a little bit later on. But the big events, like you were at the World 100, they're spectacular this year, Ashley.
It's absolutely incredible what's happening. I feel like we say it every single week on this show, but the dirt world is flourishing. And I can tell you, Thursday night after Brandon Overton won his race, the 50th 100, we were sitting in the media center. I had the Tuscarora 50 pulled up, and he even looked over and like, who's winning the sprint car race? So all drivers are fans of the sport no matter what. It's awesome.
There we go. Big Sexy. That's what they call Brandon Overton. I love it. Man, what a great racer he is, and fun stuff. And there's neat. I actually chatted with him at Charlotte. He was running a race here at the dirt track, and he talked about wanting to get behind the wheel of a sprint car. So not only is late models good, sprint cars are good, midgets are good, modifies are good, but there's so much carryover and crossover. I think we're at a real neat time in the sport, that's for sure. And Big Sexy picked up the Thursday night win at Eldora, and good times up at Eldora Speedway with the World 100. Good times at that Tuscarora 50 as well, especially if your name is Logan Wagner. It was the Tusky 50 at Port Royal, the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Blake Anderson and our main man, Earl Hoon, with the call on Flow Racing.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Here comes Logan Wagner. Logan Wagner to the lead with 2 to go. DeWeese will cut underneath the battle for the lead at 54 grand. Give it back to Lance. He goes back down low. Here comes Logan Wagner banging the boards here in turn number 2. He has a run. Battle for the lead. Logan Wagner. He's challenging for Lance, and give it to Logan Wagner.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride. Passion. Performance. We are Team Dryden.
Wing Nation continues on. We're presented by Sage Fruit. Let's go to the Hercules Tires Hotline. Joining us now is a driver who is second in the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour point standings as we're chatting here at this point. Matt Covington's on the line. Hello, Matt. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, Steve, Ashley, thanks for having me on.
It is great to catch up with you. Second in the points. As we're recording this, 3 wins thus far this season. Kind of assess how the year has been for you on the tour.
It's been a really, I tell you, it's been a great year for us. I mean, sure, we'd like to have more wins, but, we're 3 wins, and we were knocking on the door of more than that, and been real consistent. Our top 5s, I think we're 20-something top 5s, and, and been really consistent all year. And it's been a lot of fun this year, too. I mean, we've had good speed out of the car. Shout out to Vern Ringen. He's been helping me with the chassis setup stuff all year long. And I think a lot of our consistency is because of that. I think it's helped our program out to where we're a little bit more adaptable to different track conditions, and just, being out on the road for few years now and seeing a lot of different tracks, you start to pick up better and better on that. But to be consistent out on the road across the country with different competitors, different kinds of dirt and all that, you really, you have to have a good handle on what you need to feel as a driver and how you need to make the car for all the different track conditions. Dirt conditions, it's always different kind of dirt out there. That's the first thing I always do when I go out to the track is feel around on the dirt. You get to see, you almost feel like, I forget what they call it, dirt scientist, but I feel like a sprint car driver could probably be one of those.
Matt, I absolutely love it. Your record this year is impeccable. You have 21 top fives, 26 top tens, and only in 30 races. So consistency is definitely there. But you say you're having more fun this year. Is it because of the consistency, or is there more to what this series has to offer that you're having so much fun on the tour?
Well, sure, some of the consistency. I mean, of course, running top fives a lot makes you feel better, and you're running good and that kind of thing. But you know, the big thing that I've noticed this year with the group of travelers that we have is the camaraderie of everybody. I mean, I feel like this group that we have here, all of us are friends. There hasn't been any button heads. There hasn't been any on-track issues. Everybody's a respectable racer and a hard racer, and but you know, at the same time, I feel like everybody's friends out here. I mean, just you know, I grew up racing with JJ Hickle. I knew what I was going to get when he came on the tour. He was going to be a great addition, which he has been. Blake Hahn, a good friend of mine. Dylan Westbrook, he's starting to open up to us a little bit more, and he's a great addition to the tour. That's really picked up, had a little bit of bad luck at the beginning of the year, but has picked up speed, and you know, he may be the fastest car on the tour right now. Him or the 52 is probably right now are running probably the fastest out of anybody. But it seems like we're all just really great friends, and I think that for me personally, it has made the tour a lot more enjoyable. I feel like this year has been one of the most enjoyable years for me. Not that any year's been a unenjoyable year, but I feel like this one, I like having the camaraderie, you know, and I don't like the drama or you know, maybe this guy's mad at this guy or whatever. Now we're not talking. We haven't had any of that, and everybody's just been getting along real well, and it's been a real enjoyable season so far.
You talk about the camaraderie on the tour. As we're talking with you, we talked a little bit before this interview. You are in a Walmart parking lot with some of the other teams. What is that like when a group of race car teams shows up in a Walmart parking lot?
Well, you know, it seems like it's a little bit different depending on which part of the country you're in. You know, whether we're close to a city or kind of out in the countryside area. Here in Center Iowa, we're out in the country, and like typical, the people are just super excited about it. Like I told you, the local guy that lived just down the street from this Walmart, he's in a wheelchair, and he came in wheeling up in here, and just couldn't look like a kid in a candy store. I mean, you could just see the excitement in his face. They just astounded that all these sprint cars were out here in the parking lot. You know, people all day long, they either come by and they're like, wow, what is that thing? I never seen something like that before. Or they're like, oh man, the sprint cars are in town. What night you guys racing? I love watching sprint cars. You know, you get that. And the difference, I'd say, from the countryside when we get closer to the city, it's not that the people aren't excited about it. Sometimes the management at the Walmart isn't quite as open to us taking over a really big chunk of their parking lot, especially when you get five big sprint car rigs in here. You know, we tend to take up a lot of the parking lot. But when we get out in the country a little bit, even the managers of the Walmart, they see that how much the people really like being able to look at the sprint cars. Or we had a little kid last night that his dad came over and asked us if he could look at the sprint car because he was a super, super big sprint car fan. We told him, oh, yeah, sure, you know, and he goes and gets this kid, brings him back, and the kid just losing his mind, you know, running through the trailer, just having the best time ever. We stick him in the car, and I feel like out in the country, the people, the management at the Walmarts, they see that kind of stuff, and it's not a problem. Then when we get a little into a bigger town, the Walmart's a lot busier. And we take up a lot of their parking lot. Sometimes they'll tell us to get on out of there. But when you get out in the country, for the most part, the Walmart seem to really take care of us, and they let us use the parking lot. And, you know, if you need to go into the Walmart, grab something, you're right there. So it works out real good.
Parking lot maintenance.
The only issue, Steve, I tell you, though, you know, the people a lot of people haven't seen a sprint car before. So when they see something like that, they want to come check it out, and they want to come talk to you. So I've told Matt before, you know, sometimes it's a little tougher to get the work done because we're having to conversate with people and stuff. I tell Matthew, my crew guy there, that you know, I'll handle that. You'll keep doing what you're doing. Don't get distracted or whatever, because it's important. There's a lot of mechanical and maintenance stuff that has to be done on a sprint car, and it's my life's in his hands in a sense. So if he's anything like me, if I'm working on something, then somebody talks to me, I'm totally screwed up. Like I have to just start back over. But it's all good fun, and I think being out here at this Walmart or places like this when we race somewhere close like that. People that haven't ever seen a sprint car, when they do see something like that close, and obviously they look really cool. I think it helps drag a few extra people out to the races that night.
I can see that. I really can, because the cars are so amazing, that's for sure. And then they see some of the drivers, and automatically there's an attachment to it. Fun stuff. Matt, hang in there with us. Everyone else, stick around. We'll have more with Matt Covington in just a moment.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honey Crisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey.
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy. Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit, continues on. We're having a ball talking on the Hercules Tire Hotline with Matt Covington. He was a 2004 inductee into the National Quarter Midget Hall of Fame. So racing has been in the blood for years and years and years. And Matt, while we talked a lot of racing in the first segment of the show, I want to take it off track. And you have an addition to the family. A son was born back on August 9th. How is fatherhood treating you?
It's pretty new. It's pretty new to me, Steve. It wasn't something that I ever thought was going to happen. I was kind of always anti. I like to be on the road racing my sprint car. It wasn't really something that I thought that I wanted. And Virginia, over the years, she kept pushing for that, was wanting that. And finally, I was like, okay, well, we'll do that. And we tried unsuccessfully for a couple years. And finally, now we have Ian Matthew Covington. And it's been real great. I it was probably 4 or 5 days after Virginia had him. I forget who it was, but a guy came, which everybody was coming up and asking me how it was going or whatever. But one guy in particular, he asked me, how it was taking care of the baby. How hard was it taking care of the baby? And I told him, I was like, to be honest with you, the babies have been a breeze. It's Virginia that's been a little tougher to take care of. But Virginia ended up having to get a C-section, and it was an emergency one, and I passed out there for a minute, Steve, whenever I was at the hospital there. I don't like hospitals, for one. And so I got a little nervous there. I got a little lightheaded. I had to get a rag to wipe all the sweat off me. We went in for the emergency C-section, everything came out just fine. But Virginia was a little tore up after it. It took her about a week to get back on her feet. Probably 2 weeks to get to feeling okay. But because she was down for that first week or so, that left me to be in charge of a lot of stuff, and I'm somewhat of a weak stomach guy. If somebody next to me threw up, well, I'm going to be the next guy that throws up immediately after. Changing dirty diapers, probably not something I was going to be able to do, but so far hasn't been a problem. The only there's been a couple issues that we've had with Ian. We've been trying to work out. One of them was he was born at night, so his time clock, I think, was a little messed up. He had a tendency the first week or two to want to sleep all day and then stay up all night. And then the other issue is every time I'd go to change his diaper, that's when he would want to pee everywhere. So I had a couple of moms that we were racing out a week or two ago. I think it was Lake Ozark. They told me the trick. You had to make sure you put a rag over it, something about the cold air, might activate it there or something. But I think we're getting that handled out. And Virginia, she's doing a lot better. Matter of fact, I think she's going to bring him and maybe a dog or two of ours to Wheatland coming up this weekend. A friend of mine, Steve Basham, is going to bring a fifth wheel for me. And so he told me he was going to put me on Millionaire Row, whatever they call that. I'm about as far from a millionaire as you can get, but it sounds like I'll be hanging out amongst them. hanging out amongst them at Wheatland, so that'll be good. And thanks to Steve for doing that for me. But that'll Virginia ought to have a nice, comfortable spot, the fifth wheel. You know, it's hard being in a little toter-home with my crew guy. And actually, I have the chick magnet from Knoxville, old Josh Eggwood. He's with me. Chris Martin brought him to me at I-80, and he did I-80 with us. He's going to race here at Spencer, Iowa tomorrow night, and then we're going to be off to Wheatland with him. So my toter home's a little full, and Steve thought he was going to be a nice guy, and he offered me his fifth wheel, so that'll be cool. And Virginia's been wanting to come out to a race for a while, all year long, really. You know, she was all, she was kind of chunky there, and it wasn't. It was a little hard to walk around, so she wasn't coming to any earlier in the year. And then, then when she had Ian, she's a little busy, and really, she was wanting to bring him to Lake of the Ozark. I kind of put my foot down. I was like, my gosh, let's at least let him open his eyes a little bit before we get him to the racetrack, But it'll be good to have him. That'd be a new experience for me. When you have a kid, emotions that you probably never had felt before. I think I feel when I look into his eyes, I see a smile and things like that. In my mind, I'm already thinking of what brand of junior sprint I'm going to buy for him. And the conversation we had the other day, I'm looking on the Google or whatever at what kind of junior sprint I think I want to get for him. And Virginia's like, well, hopefully he wants to race. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Want to race? I was like, he can make up his mind what he wants to do when he's 18, but up until then, I got him. So we're a good balance on each other, I think Virginia, sure, I may want to push you to race a little bit because I'd like to race with him, but Virginia is going to be more of the probably how it should be. Well, let's let him decide what he wants to do. So we'll see what happens.
She'll bring that logic into the whole thing, right? It's like not like a race car driver. So
what I'm learning here, though, is Virginia is the tough one and the backbone of the family.
Yeah, that would be safe to say. Yeah, she's probably the breadwinner also.
Well, yeah, you're a sprint car driver.
Yeah, I'm a racing bum. She has a real job. So
let's go. Breadwinner, backbone of the family, and mom. Hell, I guess she's a keeper. That's for sure. That is fantastic.
Yeah, no, you're right, Steve. You're right.
That's fantastic, Matt. I'm telling you what, I have enjoyed getting to know you a little bit over the course of the season when we catch up with each other. But thanks so much for joining us today. Great catching up with you here today on Wing Nation.
Oh, anytime, Steve and Ashley. Thanks a lot for thinking of me and having me on.
There we go. That is Matt Covington joining us here on the Hercules Tire Hotline. Stay with us. Our Tweet Your Seat Tweet of the Week and a lap around the sprint car world are coming up.
Power isn't born. It's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain. And we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
We're back. You're watching Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit, and it is time for the Tweet Your Seat Tweet of the Week, and it's all about the Tuscarora 50. The tweets come from Old Too Fast. 2 shots from the Speed Palace. One was the 4-wide salute with cell phones all lit up. Awesome picture from the pit grandstands. And then, of course, the pre-race flyover saluting 9/11. Absolutely insane. And your winner, Logan Wagner in the Zemco Racing. It's his first career Tuscarora 50, but his 4th consecutive track championship. The last guy to do that was the man from Mifflintown, Keith Kaufman.
Yes, indeed. Logan Wagner. What an exclamation point on the Port Royal season. Let's take a lap around the sprint car world, and we are at that time where championships are starting to be decided, including the Attica Fremont Championship Series. This is a series between the 2 tracks up in northwestern Ohio, and they pick a series of races, and then what they do is they add up all the points and put it together, and for the drivers, it's a way to get some more money and contingency awards, or for them, it's a chance to get money into the driver's hands, is what the game plan is with it.
Yes, it's awesome what they're doing here. The 2021 champions in the 410 series was DJ Foose, and in the 305s, it's Paul Weaver.
I'm going to tell you that's turn number 1. Turn number 2 is really, really special. The Jerry Richert Memorial was up at Cedar Lake. Jerry is a 1995 National Sprint Car Hall of Fame inductee. He was a 1962 champion of the Knoxville Nationals. Jerry died in 1998. This past weekend, it was the 21st annual Jerry Richert Memorial for the IRA bumper-to-bumper sprints. And Ashley, what a win for that one.
Brooke Tatnall was your winner. It's his 6th win in this race. But his Brooke, who's married to Amy Reichert, Jerry's daughter, so it's a family affair in every way. But unfortunately, Amy is battling cancer. She did the wing dance on Saturday night. Just things that make your heart melt.
It really does, man. I'll tell you what, just kind of gives you those warm and fuzzies when you see something like that. And that picture of Amy up on the wing is just absolutely beautiful for sure. Let's keep it in the family vein as we roll down the back straightaway into turn number 3. All of our heroes' kids are racing now. Joey Saldana, of course, Joey is a second-generation racer with 105 World of Outlaw wins. His son, Reese. Now, Reese had an accident back in May, broke his back. Well, Reese said, I love this tweet. Racing is a dangerous sport and shouldn't be taken lightly. On the other hand, your passion should not be pursued because it's dangerous. It should be pushed and reached no matter how you feel. Last week, Reese tested a 410 sprint car for the first time up at Gas City.
Absolutely insane. You go on to the other family, Chad Kemenall, 6-time All-Star Circuit of Champion. His son, Creed, he graduated from go-karts to 305. And 2 weeks ago, he made his debut at Attica. So awesome family stuff happening in our sport.
Really, truly is. That's turn number 3. Let's head it into turn number 4. The Pennsylvania Month of Money continues. This weekend, the Dirt Classic, $20,000 to win Saturday night at Lincoln. I can't wait. I'm going to be up there for that. And Ashley, next week, Selinsgrove Speedway, $20,000 to win the 39th annual Jim Nace Memorial National Open Championship.
Yes, the Memorial winners, Fred Ramers won it 5 times. Todd Schaefer and Greg Hodnett, both 4 times. Maynard Yinks 3 times. But the 2020 champion was Anthony Macri, so he's looking to add his name to that list as well.
The Month of Money continues in the state of Pennsylvania. Stay with us.
I'm not ready yet. Come on. All right, I'm ready now.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
I just stopped by to pick up my sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
Yeah, okay.
This is what it looks like when you do it.
Ta-da!
Take a deep breath, count to 5. It's like running across a rhythm section at a motocross track.
Mine was perfect.
Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. Continuing on, I kind of want to step back. We did our lap around the sprint car world, but Ashley, Matt Covington, what a character. My gosh, what a fun guy to be around.
It is so true. Even in the off-camera stuff that we chatted with him, he's full of energy. He loves being a sprint car driver, and I don't think there's any other job more fit for him.
Well, if he doesn't do it, maybe stand-up comedy might be something, but the sprint car thing seems to be working out well, and they are racing this weekend at the McMillan Hockett Memorial, and the last I checked, and as we record this, I think they were at 60 cars, one of the big Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour events. So it'll be interesting to see how they do there at Wheatland, Missouri, one of the state-of-the-art racetracks. So really appreciate Matt joining us here. Ashley, I'm headed your way. I'm catching some sprint cars in Pennsylvania this weekend. I love being up there in your home state.
Well, I'm excited that you're coming. I'm sad that you're a week late because you missed the church stand. But I'm sure you can find some good eats. But we're excited to see you here soon.
By the way, Ashley, I forgot I didn't even have this in my notes. Congratulations, another apple pie winning championship for you.
Thank you, thank you. We head to the state fair in January now, so we'll see what we can do. Maybe I can get you guys one down there.
There we go. The apple pie champion of Juniata County, Ashley Stremme. I'm Steve Post. Thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit.